Tonight, you're going to eat something that should hurt you. You'll pour hot sauce on your eggs. You'll bite into a pepper on purpose. Your mouth will burn. Your eyes will water. Your nose will run. And you'll smile and reach for more. That should not make sense. Pain is supposed to be a warning, a signal that says, stop. But somewhere along the way, humans found a way to enjoy the warning itself. Most people assume it's just about taste. Spicy food tastes good, so we eat it. But that's not quite right. Spicy food doesn't taste like anything at all. It isn't a flavor, it's an injury. Scientists call the chemical behind it capsaicin, and what it does inside your mouth is stranger than you've ever been told. Stay till the end, because the real reason you love pain is going to change how you see every meal you've ever eaten. Let's start with the basics. Peppers didn't evolve to hurt you for fun. They evolved to hurt mammals specifically. Chew a chili pepper, and it feels like fire. But there's no fire anywhere near your mouth. So what's actually happening? Inside your tongue, you have tiny sensors built to detect heat. Real heat, temperatures around 109 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the threshold where your body says, this is dangerous, pull away now. Capsaicin hijacks that exact sensor. It locks onto a receptor called TRPV1, and it flips the switch. Your brain gets the same signal it would get from touching a hot stove, except nothing is actually hot. Your tongue is lying to your brain. And your brain believes it completely. This is where it gets strange. The receptor that capsaicin activates isn't just in your mouth. It's all over your body, in your throat, in your stomach, even in your skin. That's why chili on your hands can burn your eyes hours later if you forget to wash them. The pain isn't localized the way you'd expect. It spreads, it lingers, and your body responds like it's under actual attack. Your heart rate climbs, you start sweating, saliva floods your mouth, trying to wash the invader away. This is a full-body emergency response, triggered by a plant, wearing a costume of fire. So why would any animal willingly do this to itself? Here's what's fascinating. Most animals won't. Give a mouse a capsaicin-laced snack, and it walks away every time. Birds, on the other hand, don't feel the burn at all. Their version of the TRPV1 receptor doesn't respond to capsaicin the same way ours does, which means the plant's fire is aimed specifically at mammals, and that's not an accident. Mammals chew seeds into paste. Birds swallow them whole and pass them out intact. The pepper plant needs birds to spread its seeds, not mammals to grind them into nothing. So it built a chemical weapon designed to repel exactly one type of animal, us. But humans didn't walk away, we leaned in. And that's the twist nobody expects. Somewhere in our evolutionary history, we crossed a line most animals never cross. We learned to enjoy something our own bodies are actively warning us against. Researchers have a name for this. Psychologist Paul Rozin, studying food preferences, called it benign masochism. It's the thrill of a roller coaster, the rush of a scary movie. Your body screams danger, while your mind knows you're actually safe. And in that gap between what your body feels and what your mind knows, something strange happens. It feels good. Here's the mechanism. When capsaicin sets off the pain alarm, your brain doesn't just register damage. It responds the way it responds to any real threat. It releases endorphins, your body's built-in painkillers, the same chemicals involved in a runner's high. The same system that kicks in after an injury to help you keep functioning. Spicy food tricks your brain into producing its own natural high without you ever getting hurt. You get the reward chemicals of surviving danger with none of the actual danger. It's the closest thing to jumping off a cliff you can do with a taco. But that's only half the story, because pain alone doesn't explain why some people crave the burn and others can't stand it. So what separates them? Studies on repeated exposure show something remarkable. The more often you eat spicy food, the less intensely your receptors respond over time. Your body starts to adapt. The fire doesn't disappear, but the volume gets turned down. which means the same plate that once made you cry can eventually feel completely normal. You're not born loving spice, you're trained into it, one bite at a time. Your nervous system rewires itself around repeated small doses of pretend danger. It's not that brave people seek out heat, it's that anyone who keeps eating it becomes someone who can handle it. And it might be the strangest part of all. This isn't just biology, it's culture, layered directly on top of biology. In parts of the world with hot, humid climates, spicy food shows up again and again in traditional cooking. For a long time, the theory was simple. Capsaicin has antimicrobial properties. It can slow the growth of certain bacteria. In places where food spoils faster, spicing it heavily may have once helped keep meals safer to eat. Over generations, what started as a survival habit became a cultural preference, passed down long after refrigeration made the original reason unnecessary. You may love the burn today for a reason that has nothing to do with why your ancestors first reached for it. Now, compare that to your own life. You already do this. You already chase controlled danger for a hit of feeling alive. The horror movie you didn't need to watch. The cold plunge you didn't need to take. The extra spicy order you picked on purpose, just to see if you could finish it. Every time, your body sounds the alarm. And every time, some part of you enjoys the alarm going off. Because you already know you're going to be fine. Spicy food isn't an exception to how you live. It's a perfect small example of it. So what actually happens in your brain in that exact moment, the second the heat peaks? Imagine you're there. The bite hits your tongue. Within seconds, your receptors fire, screaming heat, 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 even though nothing around you has changed temperature at all. Your face flushes, your eyes sting. Your brain, unable to tell the difference between real fire and this chemical imposter, launches its full defense system anyway. Endorphins flood in. Your pulse quickens, not from fear now, but from something closer to excitement. And underneath all of it, a quiet, particular kind of pleasure that only exists because the threat wasn't real. You survived something that was never actually going to hurt you. And your brain rewards you for it every single time. There's one more layer most people never think about. Capsaicin doesn't just trigger pain and reward, it also affects your body's temperature control. That's why spicy food can make you sweat in the middle of winter. Your brain, tricked into thinking you're overheating, tries to cool you down the same way it would on a 100-degree day. In parts of the world with brutal heat, this reflex sweating may have actually helped people regulate their body temperature more effectively after a meal. The very sensation that feels like punishment might have doubled as a survival tool, pain disguised as protection. Just like almost everything else your body does without asking your permission first. So here's the truth hiding underneath every spicy meal you've ever eaten. Your body was built with an alarm system to keep you away from danger. And somewhere along the way, you learn to press it on purpose, just to feel it go off. Not because you're broken, not because you're reckless, but because a small, safe dose of fear feels like being alive. Peppers didn't evolve to please you, they evolved to punish you. And you took that punishment and turned it into pleasure anyway. That's not really a story about chili peppers. It's a story about you. Every time you reach for the hot sauce, you're not ignoring the warning. You're choosing it on purpose again and again. And maybe that says more about what you're chasing in life than any meal ever could.